it was kind of cool wearing like Benedict Cumberbatch's harness and working with like the whole Marvel stunt team. I'm gonna say that till I die. That was so cool.
I love your books. I love your books.
I said that background is so cool. Is that
I'm a
Chucky
huge
up there?
bookworm. I
Oh
love
yeah.
it.
Thank you guys. Thank
Oh,
you.
man, that's a great background.
All right.
Well, hi, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. I'm so excited to talk with you guys about this new movie. And it's so exciting. And I wanted to hear from all of you, like, just like as young Latinos, what does it mean for you to be joining the Dora legacy? Like, I feel like that's so huge.
Yeah.
It's such an honor. It's such an honor. When I first got, the call that I got the part, I mean, I immediately told my mom and my dad, and they were so excited, not only because I'm getting to act, but because I'm getting to be part of this legacy and to be in a cast of Latin people and in a crew and shoot in Colombia. It really just felt like this camaraderie amongst all of us, and it felt like a family. Yeah.
And when my mom told me that I got it, I was like screaming, running, jumping around everywhere.
It's the cutest video ever. It's
Yeah.
so
I just
sweet.
felt so excited.
He also got like a donut tower.
Donut Tower, and he knew the call was coming in.
Yeah.
Had a
Yeah.
little like premonition. It was very interesting to hear about. But I mean, I think what Mariana was saying, that shooting in Colombia with a bunch of Latin people, that is like the reason we do it. No, I mean, having all these things release, the trailer and the first look pictures, and seeing my little cousins react to it, it's just it gets me emotional, and it makes me so proud of what we did, because I know that they're gonna grow up watching this Dora, and I mean, it means the world to me, just knowing that I have my Latin community and my family, mi familia, like appreciating this beautiful piece of art that we all put so much work into making, and it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, getting to call yourself Go Deal Go is kind of a special feeling, I'd say, from my end. And it's just like, it's something cool to share with all the people I grew up with, all my family, all my little nieces and nephews, because everyone knows about this IP, about this Dora franchise. So when I'm Diego in the new Dora movie, they're automatically so happy, like they're flipping out. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they're making another one. I'm so glad you're Diego. And it's just so cool to see how much these characters still affect young ones now. We were in Colombia on a set full of families, like parents with their kids, and I could just see people looking at Sam in her Dora costume and just like absolutely losing their minds because they think she is the coolest person, which she is, by the way. And it's like so special to see that we get to be a part of a project that means that much to that many people. And truly, you don't get that in a lot of films.
I love that. I love that so much. And you could just see watching it how much fun you guys were having. The original show, played with a little bit of like a magical realism vibe. There's talking backpacks and maps and things, but I feel like you kind of take it to a whole nother level. Like there is real magic in this. There are visions. I was getting That's So Raven,
Yes.
What was that like for you guys reading that and being like, whoa, we're taking this to a whole nother level with the magic?
On that vision thing, that's a great thing to
hilarious.
point out. I was a dancer for like most of my life, so being able to do like backbends and stuff was so exciting for me. Whenever I would get a vision, that it would be like, okay, maybe don't do it that much. Don't go far back into a backbend. That's a little bit too much. But it was so exciting, and like, who thought that Dora and like a magical bracelet and this golden sun, it really is magical surrealism, and I think it's pretty epic, to be honest.
It is pretty fun the way that bracelet just moves everyone around.
Oh yeah.
And like that bracelet takes us for a ride. And there's so many cool scenes, like you're trying to break through and the bracelet's kind of like stopping you a little bit.
Oh my gosh, that is one of my favorite shots in
It
the
looks
entire movie.
amazing.
Just because the bicep is working
Oh,
around.
she's for sure. She's working out in the gym every night preparing for that scene right there, I'll tell you that.
But I
I
mean,
love it.
yeah, even with the more practical stuff, that felt like real magic too. Like the walls closing in, the fire coming out from the walls. That was just, that was incredible. Bless you. Guys, we gotta stop shooting. We gotta get him a tissue. Someone get him a tissue. No, but it was so like daunting, but in the best way possible, because it was like, this feels real.
Mhm.
The bracelet felt real. The golden sun felt real.
Watching Sam like break her neck felt real.
Yeah. No comment.
Were you guys the ones that got to do a lot of those physical stunts on set? There was a lot of really cool stuff you guys got to do. How did you train for that? What was that like?
Well, the one thing that I that I did not do was drive, and nobody made me have to learn how to do it. So I'm glad,
There
I'm
you
really
go.
happy about that.
Yeah.
But anything like with a harness, it was pretty much all of it was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had like this huge like kind of like warehouse that we do like do rehearsals for our stunts before we actually go on set and do them live. But yeah, most of it was us. I know I was lucky enough to do basically all of my own stunts, and it was kind of cool wearing like Benedict Cumberbatch's harness and working with like the whole Marvel stunt team. I'm gonna say that till I die. That was so cool, and like just being able to do all these cool movements and make us look like true heroes.
It's epic.
It's probably an experience that I may never get to experience again. And I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity, especially to do it with them and, save Dora because Dora always needs saving.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. She's amazing.
See, like, oh, who's saving who?
Yeah.
Sorry, just have to throw that out there really quick.
That Dora and Diego bond, that cousin bond is so iconic. And it was so interesting to see, like, obviously in this film, Dora has her, like, quest that she wants to go on, but Diego also has his own dreams and, things that are kind of outside of that. So how do you feel their personal goals sort of like clash, but also kind of come together throughout the film?
Obviously, they're used to their routine in the beginning of this film. We see them, she's like, all right, it's, this is the last place that Sol Dorado could possibly be. We got to lock it down. And to see the story progress and how things kind of go a little bit haywire according to schedule. And for him to kind of like drop that bomb on her, I think was a little bit shocking for her to realize. And also for me, when I was reading in the script, I was like, oh, wow, like this is such an interesting take on their relationship.
Yeah.
But obviously at first she's a little bit hesitant and she doesn't really love the idea. But I think slowly as she realizes that it's not the importance of physically being there and going on adventures together, but it's the fact that they have such a close relationship and such a special bond that like, no matter where you are in the world, we are still together. You know what I mean? We are still best friends for life. You
Yeah.
know?
And I think it's kind of a fun thing to play with, though, like the frustration that
Oh,
Diego
yeah.
gets more and more throughout the movie, and the more he realizes he might not be able to do what he wants to do. And just his realization that there is nothing more important than Dora, and there's nothing that he wouldn't do for his cousin. And truly, he's always going to be there for her no matter what, whether he likes it or not, whether he wants to or not. He's never going to give up on this girl. And
That
I think
primo
that
bond.
was a fun
Yeah.
thing to do. And then, hey, Diego still may get what he wants. Who knows? I'm not sure.
I really loved that message of like Dora is the map the whole time. Like she has the magic and the power and like the will within herself. What did you think when you first kind of read that moment? Because that is something she's trying to figure out, how to get back this whole time.
No, of course. I mean, I think the overall message that I got from that I took away is that you are who you are, and things on the outside that surround you, your ecosystem, does not change that. You have your foundations and you have your morals, and that's all you need to make it in life. And when I read it in the script and when we did our table read, I cried a little bit because I thought, wow, this is like such a powerful and profound message for kids to know. We always say, be who you are, but in actuality, sometimes it's difficult to be that, when you lose Map and when you lose Backpack and when you lose Diego and your new friends, that can change someone, for worse or for better. And I think for Dora, it took a turn for the better. And I'm so glad that she went through that because she just came out of it even stronger and better than ever.
Was there any nods to just like the OG show that you noticed while you guys were filming that you're like excited for fans to be like, oh, wait, they did that?
Just breaking the fourth wall in that tram scene of like, that's all I wanted,
Yeah.
I mean, we have Swiper, we have Boots.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a few one-liners in there. I mean, you have the Vamonos, just things that are such a staple to Dora that I think fans are really gonna clock them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Lucky.
you yelling "Go Diego Go" was crazy, and even like just like little soundtrack things that happen after we successfully do something like dun da da dun type of things. Like just like little like soundtracks that you see in the actual TV show make it to the movie. I thought that was special too.
Yeah, Kenny Wood did an incredible job
Oh,
with
truly.
the composition. What was your favorite part, Ax? Of,
When you said, "Lo hicimos."
yes,
Yeah.
I love that part. That whole tram scene is where I feel like I got to be the most like OG Dora, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Everything else was like my interpretation, but when it came to the tram scene, I'm like, I have to ask the deadpan question, and I have to get that Lo hicimos. It was
Yeah.
super important.
You guys did such a great job, and you're really continuing the legacy for young people and their families to continue watching this iconic heroine and her friends. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye bye.
Consider subscribing if you like this video and get even more entertainment news at popcultureplanet.com. See ya!